Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.
Howdy ho!
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Happy Tuesday, fellas.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, bro.
Who brought the tacos?
They're in the kitchen.
All right.
Tacos.
So here we are, the Guitarsenal.
Right on.
22nd of October, 2024. 11 minutes after 6 Pacific Standard Time. And today we're taking a look at one of Randy's little beauties. Take a gander here. Very nice, very nice. But before we get into that, let's thank all our channel members and all the support we get from all the lovely people.
Right on. We appreciate all of you. If you're not a channel member and you want to be a channel member, click that join button down there at the bottom of the video on your YouTube screen.
Yeah. Join the club.
For only $75 a month, you can have free emojis.
Act now and we'll add a set of steak knives.
Right on.
Right on. So, should we do a quick roll call?
Do a roll call.
All right. I'll fire through it here. Starting there, we had first in the chat, Hillary, channel member, trying to keep her eyes open, hanging in there. Appreciate you being here, Hillary. Thank you. Yep. The Cushman, cheers, brother.
What's up, Kush?
Kush.
From down under, our good friend Miles, 6 Fingered Assault. Cheers,
He's doing
brother.
some shredding on
Miles.
Facebook.
Yep.
Pretty cool, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah, and channel moderator and channel member, Hip Metalworks,
Yep.
BC brother.
Ken?
What's up, Ken?
We got a Blue Mox. Cheers, Blue.
What's up, dude?
And we got me. Yay, me.
Hey, me.
Hey, it's that guy.
And we got Jimmy Bada. What's up?
That's that guy.
And we got a Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
What's up, Daniel?
You.
Right on, right on. Yostinators here.
Yost, what's up, dude?
M Rock in the house. And we got a 40 grit present and accounted for. Cheers,
What's up,
man.
40 grit?
Hey.
Might be the inspiration for showing this guitar tonight. Who that might be.
Little influence there. And Mr. Dennis Ellis in the house. Cheers, man. Shaking the show, my loud brother, Rock Daddy. Turning
Daddy,
it up.
what's up?
Crank it up, brother, man. Good to see you. And we got a Can't Drive 55. This is way more interesting than the Celtics versus Knicks. So there you go, John. It's
basketball
tonight, I guess. And
I like
LG.
What's up, LG?
LG.
I mean, I like guitars way better than basketball, so
Same.
there's that.
Same. So there it is. See, we got through that pretty quick and painless. And Yosinators loves his Frankie Relic. Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Cool
How you
guitar.
boys doing tonight?
Doing well.
Pretty tired, man. It's
Not bad
our
for a Tuesday.
Tuesdays are our end of week pay period ends, so that's always a hustle.
Is it? I had my my head buried in some structural drawings for a good part of the day. I hate it. Counting pile caps and
The less glamorous part of the job.
yeah.
Drive you to drinking. Man, plowing down through the front door here. Greasy monkey guitars.
There can be none more greasy.
Indeed.
What's up,
Welcome to the
Greasy?
show. I was just happy to see it stop raining for a couple minutes, for fuck's sake.
You know,
Would be bad.
we have had 0 rain in Georgia for the month of October. None.
We got all yours here.
And we got all that hurricane flooding and stuff back at the end of September. So I guess they decided the powers that be decided we're gonna give you a dry October.
Take a little mercy on you.
No, we've been getting nailed here the last week or so.
That sucks.
Cook Whitlam had a foot of rain. A full foot of rain over the weekend, 48 hours. We broke all kinds of records.
That sounds like a mudslide or two.
Oh, there was. Lady's house washed away. She's dead. Teacher, I can't find her. She's gone. Crazy. You know, you hunker down in your house, you know, thinking you're safe, and the next thing you know,
Right?
don't live on the side of a hill. Anywho, here, let's make Randy big, and we can check out this.
Homo?
See what we're dealing with here.
Big, not hard.
Make it big, please.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
So, the guitar being featured tonight would be my EVH Frankie Relic series in black, because they offer these in colors, which we'll go over all the specs, and then we'll discuss what I've changed and modifications that I've made to it. But I guess I'll start with the reason I got this guitar. When they announced them, I was like, oh, I gotta have one of those. Because when I first saw them, it was like, now there's a modding platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they come in a Frankie setup with your single coil that works, but it's not wired up. Your Wolfgang humbucker, and then the little partial pick guard down here and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great modding platform, because most Charvel stuff will work on these. There's a couple minor differences. So I was like, yeah, I got to get one of those. And I ended up buying the EVH Star Guitar first, the Stealth Black Star Guitar. And because I think they announced them at the same time. And I had the Star Guitar like 4 days and sent it back. Well, the nut needed to be lowered. The neck either needed to be shimmed or the pocket needed to be sanded. The action was way too high, even with the trim, decked on the body. And then I noticed that it looked like there was a crack at the high E side trim post. And I'm like, nope.
Gotta go.
And the other thing that I noticed immediately with the Star, and this probably doesn't matter if you have smaller hands, but the Stars have the typical Strat neck heel.
Yeah.
Well, the way that cutout is for that lower horn, I could not get up to the 21st or 22nd fret with my ring finger, which is my primary bending
It's
finger.
your business maker or your money maker.
Right.
There.
So I'd have to sling the ring finger under and slide up with just 2 fingers. And that was just, I was not ready to adapt to that. So I sent that thing back and immediately said, just swap it and send me one of these. So I got one of these. I got this guitar, and then it took on, it's had 2 makeovers. It had a different look before it had this look. This is the most recent, the way it's going to stay. So, well, I'm going to get with 40 grit and learn some tricks to do some more relicking, just to kind of, like he did his, and make it a little more unique, where it's just not the same relic pattern. So
it's personality. We got Bent Tom sending out some membership love.
10 months. All right, man.
You know there's no money above the 12th fret.
Shit.
Yeah, man, we got Zach Strong. Hey, Zach.
What's up, Zach?
How you doing, buddy?
What's up, dude? So, Trev, want to go over the specs?
Can do. Here, let's go back to
So
this.
before you do that, when you got it,
Mm-hmm.
was it good? Was it good out of the box, or did you have to give it a bunch of love, or?
Just a little bit of setup tweaks. I mean, it was actually playable out of the box, which a lot of the stuff out of the Fender Mexico plant is far from playable out of the box.
Right.
In my experience. But this one was playable out of the box. I had to lower the action a little bit.
Right.
It's still not as low as I really like it, but this nut needs to come down a smidge. And then
is that just like the nut height? Is that just Ed's preference, or is that just how they made it on that Wednesday?
I think that's just how they made it on that Wednesday.
Right.
I've had experiences with either the nut, I mean, all variances, either too low, too high, misaligned. I mean, it was kind of all over the map with the Mexican stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of crucial part of the whole guitar, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess they're just saving that for somebody else to
I think.
fix.
More
Greasy
channel
monkey. Member for 14 months. That's awesome.
You rock.
Bro, if we had the dollar sound clips
Where's
for
your
you guys, we'd be
dingle
playing.
dangle?
There it is.
Quite Christmassy, actually.
Piss and change.
You want to pull that mic a little closer to the old speak hole there, Jimmy? Or turn it up?
The what?
The fun hole.
40
Grit
grit asks.
asking.
The pie hole.
40 grit's asking if I left the bridge floating. This one's shockingly enough, because a lot of these guitars, they're supposed to be decked for dive only from the factory. A lot of them show up floating or half floating or whatever. And, as he says later on, it's builder's preference.
Right.
But this one actually was decked. It had a little bit of lean back, which I fixed by lowering the action.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show it in a minute. But no, this one was actually at least leaned back and where it wasn't floating. So
in those situations, is the thing sitting right on the finish?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now the USA, I guess they're doing it on the Mexican specials now, the Wolfgangs. With the carved top, the arch top, they have a route that they sit in. But these, they're just sitting, and these are thin skin lacquer.
Right.
It's not a poly finish, but it's sitting right on it.
Cool.
Very cool. Okay, here. There's your specifications.
Scott Brockway in the house. What's up, Scotty?
Scotty.
Scotty.
Good having you on Sunday.
Is that big enough? Is it big enough? Is that a 5x7?
Guitar Man 45. Bo, what's up, Bo?
Hey, Bo.
What's up, Bo?
Scott and Bo, both channel members.
Okay, there you go. So,
Scotty, I'll get to that in a minute. So these are pretty much spec-wise are on par with the Frankie Relic, the red, white, black striped Frankie Relic guitar.
mm-hmm.
It's the same neck and all that kind of stuff.
basswood.
I can't read. I gotta go. So yeah, it's the strap body, basswood, which you can see
Lacquer
obviously
finish.
lacquer finish. Mine is right-handed
Go figure.
because I'm
You
right-handed.
didn't Hazansky it?
No,
Yeah, it came with the Wolfgang humbucker in it, but
yep. Electronics wise, they come with a Wolfgang humbucker and then a black Wolfgang humbucker, which is obviously not this. They only got the master volume,
right.
which is the EVH low friction, and then they have the fake.
Bourne's pot? Yeah.
Yeah. So then they have the fake, or they have the 5-way switch that's screwed into the body in the middle pickup position, which mine doesn't have. Gone.
Right.
And then they have the red phenolic covered dummy single coil, which actually, if you watch 40 Grit's video on his Stripe series, he has his wired up. I had it wired up in this guitar originally. They actually do sound great, but not quite enough juice for me.
Right.
So we have, in true fashion with the rest of the EVH stuff, you have a bolt-on quarter sawn maple neck
Right.
that is heavily reliced. And the way they relic these necks is they use brown shoe polish.
No. Christ.
So they use this brown shoe polish and to get the dirty spots, they use a little bit of graphite powder mixed in the shoe polish and kind of dab it on. This one wasn't like super bad. I had a red, black, and white one that the neck was literally sticky up in this area on the back of the neck.
A little too much mung.
Yeah. They got a bunch of complaints about it, so they toned it down a little bit. Because some of those necks were like super dark. But it's the EVH modified C back shape, which
means what?
Well, your best comparison to this back shape is the Charvel Speed C on like the Pro Mod guitars. These are a little bit thicker, not much, like 2000s or whatever.
Right.
They're a little bit thicker and not quite as wide. It's still an R3 nut, so 43 millimeter nut, but they're just not quite as wide as the newer Charvel stuff. It's more like the old USAs from like 08 to 2010. It's more along that neck profile. Pretty comfortable. It's in line with that stuff that I like. So
big old frets in it.
Hey, Pete. Cheers.
They're jumbos.
Papa.
Jumbo nickel frets, no stainless steel on these. It's a 12 to 16 compound radius fretboard. Black side dots, no glow in the dark goodies here. And they do have the truss rod wheel adjustment, thumb wheel adjustment down here. I don't know why they call it a thumb wheel, because you can't adjust that shit with your thumb.
Right. Spoke wheel.
You can try.
I have tried it. It ain't happening. Unless it's all the way loose. Yeah, stock pickup configuration, like I said, is HS hum single, which is still hum single.
Just your hum single.
I like hum single over hum, even though this is a railed pickup. Your bridge, typical EVH Floyd Rose 1000 that is on everything EVH except for the Wolfgang standards, the Indonesian made Wolfgang standards. They have the special, and it does come with the old EVH detuner.
Kurt.
Kurt, what's up, bro?
Kurt.
And they did do an aged chrome finish. It's not super aged. It's just kind of like they took a Scotch Brite or something and just kind of half-ass scuffed them a little bit and did the fine tuners a little bit. The fine tuners on my Henrik Donhage Charvel are actually more aged than this.
Is the paint off of it type of thing or what?
What do you mean?
Because the fine tuners are black, right?
They're black, but they're kind of they're a little bit of brass showing. I mean, you're not going to really be able to see it much because they didn't really scuff these a whole lot.
Okay.
What's up, boys? I got one of them too.
There he is.
Right on.
There he is.
What is up, everybody?
Looking what we
Figured I'd stop in and say hello, make an appearance, and say what's up, everybody. Good to see you, boys.
Hey, it's good to see you, bro.
It's been a while, man. So, good to be back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. So, anybody wondering, I had some family stuff going on. I did lose a family member, and it's always rough, so haven't been really feeling like coming on here. But got to get back with my boys, with my peeps, be surrounded by the people that love to do what I'm loving to do, and good to see everybody. And hopefully I'll be back. Going to be some time. I'll be taking off here soon to deal with some family stuff, but good to see everybody.
Brother.
And I figured, good time to come in and say what's up. So
Excellent time.
right on, man. Right on. So don't let me interrupt.
there, Mr. Man.
Well, it's the same thing that Mr. Randy's talking about, except
Right.
mine's
In
stock.
its virgin state.
That's actually really good. Ryan's. Well, let's isolate Ryan for a sec there. He's got the stock version, how mine looked when I got it.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Right on. It's got your Floyd 1000, got your Wolfgang pickup, the old dummy switch, which evidently works if you wire it up, along with the the neck pickup that works if you wire it up. Saw 40 Grit wired his up. Sounded really good. I like that he put a little switch, a little 3-way switch in there. But so what you got going on with yours so far, Randy?
We're just finishing up the specs here, right?
Yep. So, as you see, EVH branded Godo tuners. Same thing. It's on the Charvels and all that stuff. They said EVH custom control guard, which you could see on Ryan's stock model. And then the old white Strat style skirt knob that's labeled tone. Mine is not white. And I do not have 9 to 42 gauge strings on my guitar. I have 9 to 46s.
Right.
And it did come with a gig
buttons,
bag.
are they the hooks or no?
No, they're not the hooks. They're like the oversized regular. They're not the same as the Fender strap buttons. They're a little bit bigger.
Right.
But those are gone on this too. So
There you go.
Just noticing all the love in the chat. Appreciate it, everybody. Appreciate
lovely.
it.
big love, bro.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful community we have.
Did I polish the body? No, I did not. Other than whatever polishing happens when you play it.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
How was yours playability wise, Ryan, when you got it?
Well, I'm very picky with my guitar, so I played several of these until I decided on this one. I really honestly don't remember where I got this one, but I do remember playing several and not being happy with many of them. I may have gotten this one from Righteous. I think they had a couple. I played a few. That's right. I did get it from Righteous because I made a short about it. I was like, "Where's the black one?"
Right.
Yeah.
This came from Righteous Guitars in Roswell, Georgia. But they had a few. They had a white one. They had a red one. They had a couple of the black ones, and played them all. And this was the one that came home with me. But as far as playability on this thing, one of the most comfortable necks you'll ever play. And it just, it feels and looks like a nice worn-in guitar, and it's, I would recommend it to anybody. Just go play a couple of them and see which one works for you.
What's the price point on those?
What's what?
Price point.
I don't even remember.
$16.99?
Something like that.
$16.99, I believe.
Yeah, these were a little cheaper than the striped one. I think the striped one.
Stripe one's like $2,000 now.
Right.
Ooh.
But you can find these used, I'm sure, $800-900, something like that.
Now, Ryan, do you feel that the neck on these Relic ones feels better than the standard EVH?
Yes. Yep. It has a different shape to it than a Wolfgang. I do like the Wolfgang necks, though. Those feel really, really good. But like the Stripe series, standard ones that you get, your 5150 or your I got a white and black one. This neck just feels better for whatever. It just feels, like I said, worn in.
Yep.
And just feels like a comfortable glove.
So are the neck profiles supposed to represent what Eddie was playing at the time?
No idea.
Good question.
No idea.
Well, you said they were like the early 20s, 2010, you said, or something?
Yeah, they feel like the earlier Charvel profiles, like my black one pickup Charvel. It's pretty similar. The Charvel maybe a smidge wider, but as for thickness and back shape, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, the edges on these necks are seriously rolled. Mm-hmm. Really, really nice fretwork on this one in particular. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Randy has showed me his, but I'll show you mine. I don't know if you can see that, but the edge is extremely rolled. You can see that.
Nice.
Yep.
All the way up. Just a real comfortable neck. Just feels like it's been played for years.
Let's see.
And yours is stock, Ryan, yeah?
100% stock. The
Ryan.
roll is strong with these, as 40 Grit says.
Ryan's maybe rolled a little bit more than mine by the way it looks.
Oh, you want to hit it, Ryan? It's been a while. We've been suffering.
It's been a minute, right? Pete Estevez, new member. Right on, man. Thank you.
You want me to do?
Whoa. Where's that coming from?
We didn't hear you.
That
You
was
didn't-
my quick improv at getting a money.
Right on. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate it.
Yeah, brother.
Pete hitting that join button. Right on. Thank you, Pete.
Welcome to the club.
It's awesome.
We had a couple of super chats the other day, so Trev was fast thinking, and he went
Jumped
over
on
and
the
he found
Elgato
a-
marketplace and looking for some kind of money sounds.
Right on. You boys have done a great job while I was away. I appreciate you. Appreciate all the work that you did putting in and continuing the jams, man. Appreciate it.
Keeping the bus on the
brother,
road,
you're-
not necessarily in our lane all the time, but we're not in the ditch or off the shoulder.
You know, I didn't have a whole lot of time to catch all of the shows, but I every time I turned it on, I was like, what are they doing? No.
They're embarrassing
guys-
me. They're not my family.
Nah,
Fuck
you
them.
guys did great. Awesome, man.
Sorely missed, my friend, but take whatever you need. Time-wise, we're here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Probably be taking.
Community's 100% behind you.
Yeah, probably take some time next week and go down and do some finalizing of some things. But yeah, I just had to jump in tonight and just say hello. It's been too long.
appreciate it.
Been too long.
We're
Oh,
damn
okay.
sure glad to see you.
Right on, man. Glad to be here. It's been so long, I forgot to do all my proper setup to come on. So now we're good.
Carrying the tradition of doing the
I
drop C nightmare on the way out.
I heard that. I heard it. It was like John hanging strong, doing that even when he doesn't want to.
Yeah,
So,
it's tradition,
well,
man.
don't let me interrupt the show now. And carry on,
We don't
Randy.
have much of a show to start with, buddy, so you're the highlight here.
We finished our spec sheet, so now we got to talk about Randy. What did you change first?
Customization.
Right. So this was the second facelift of this guitar. Originally, I had just put I ordered a Charvel hum single pickguard, and I swapped the Wolfgang pickup for a Pariah Pasadena 86.
Let me interrupt you for just a moment. If anybody else has this guitar and they want a pick guard for it, where did you get yours, or where do you recommend getting it?
This is a Charvel Henrik Donhage pickguard that a company called Paradox Guitar Supply sells. You can find them on Reverb. They're out of Florida. And it pretty much fit fine. The screw holes are slightly off, so if you don't mind kind of dealing with that. But everything else, it fits the I had to take a Dremel and just slightly do around the
Or
heel,
relief for the neck. Yep.
because the Charvel neck heels are rounded and the EVH ones are squared.
Square. Okay. What about the Floyd? Did it fit right there for the Floyd?
Yep.
Well, because that guitar has a Floyd on it.
Yep,
doesn't
it has a top mount Floyd as well. So
Right. All right. So Paradox something or another. What was it?
Paradox Guitar Supply on Reverb.
Paradox Guitar Supply. Little plug for them.
I know.
So
But that was your first one was
this is
you said you got
the same.
okay.
Both of these came from Paradox, both these pick guards. So I wanted to keep the angled look of the Wolfgang pickup. So obviously this route is straight. So I've had to, when I took the pick guard to work and dremeled it, I shaved out an angle in it so it would just drop right over. And I wired the dummy single coil neck pickup to a push pull and left it like that for a while. And for some reason decided I want a black and yellow guitar. So I spent another $35 and bought another Henrik pickguard. And it's the same push pull, but I ordered a set of yellow strat knobs. This one also says tone. And this is a DiMarzio Air Norton S in the neck, so it's a stacked humbucker rail pickup.
Cool.
And then the bridge pickup started out as a DiMarzio Sonic Ecstasy. And when I put it in, it was so much treble, man, just super high output in the treble end of thing. It was way too bright, like ear piercing.
And you got bright hands to start off with.
Right. So I talked to my boy Willie, Rocket Pickups. I said, hey, can you get yellow bobbins? And he said the supplier he deals with doesn't do yellow bobbins. But he's like, I can just rewind that pickup. So he, I took him the guitar. He took the pickup out, cut all the windings off, swapped the magnet to a rough cast Alnico 5, and then did his Flamethrower D wind on it. So it's like 18.2K on this bridge pickup.
Wow.
It's like a super overwound PAF.
And you would think that that would be super bright, but with that magnet, I guess that pulls some of that down.
Well, the Sonic Ecstasy is a ceramic magnet.
Right.
Ceramic magnets get that ice picky
Yep.
high end. So with the A5, especially the rough cast instead of a polish, you get way more of a low end, low mid push instead of the higher ice picky high end treble. But I'm
Almost like 3 times the resistance of a regular PAF.
right,
Right.
right. But resistance doesn't always equal output.
Correct.
So, and DiMarzio is pretty much the big one to base that off of, because DiMarzio will have a
In my experience, resistance has never equaled output.
right.
Oh, we're talking about guitars though.
Resistance is futile.
Take the DiMarzio Super 3 that's in my black Charvel. It's like 22.5K. And it's hot, but on the output spectrum, there's like 4 or 5 other pickups they make that are hotter than that.
Thank you, Dory.
The original Super Distortion is hotter than the Super 3, but it's only like 13.5K. So it all depends on wire gauge, wire insulation, yada, yada, yada.
Magnet, everything.
Yeah.
3 is 435 millivolts.
Yep. The true way to read how hot a pickup is millivolts, your output voltage in millivolts. But
Stick your tongue on the wires.
right.
That's hot.
But the other things I did to this is it's got the titanium saddle blocks.
FU tone.
No.
Where'd
These
you
are
get those?
Floyd Rose.
Oh, there you go.
So these are the Floyd Rose titanium saddle locking blocks, and then it also has the titanium. They came with the titanium screws. And Floyd Rose, I don't know if they're still doing it or not, they offered a longer screw for a D-tuna application.
Right.
So I made sure I got the set for a D-tuna. And if you ever have a D-tuna that's not smooth on the pull in and pull out, I know sometimes pulling out can be sketchy. But
Chinese.
I did a whole
finger
video
trap.
on that.
Right?
yep. Ryan did a whole video on polishing if you want to keep the stock screws. Ryan did a whole video on polishing that screw, and then did you go in and do the barrel of the D-tuna too? I don't remember.
Yes, I pulled the whole thing apart, shined up the inside barrel, sanded up the lock screw, and then actually pulled the screw all the way out and kind of cleaned up the end of it.
Yep.
Where's that noise coming from? It's got to be me here somewhere.
But if you don't want to go through all that legwork of 10 minutes of cleaning and polishing, the titanium screws on the D-tuna, pending the barrel of the D-tuna is not dirty or not machined oh so great, they slide on the titanium screws like glass. They're super smooth. So
There's that other one that you have, the little, it's like a...
the Tone Vice pitch shifter, that's on the Henrik Donhage guitar.
Right.
They're cool. I just figured I'd keep the D-tuna on here going with the EVH motif.
Mm-hmm.
And then I haven't really done anything else to it other than put this stupid yellow DiMarzio clip lock strap, which now that I'm in love with these D'Addario straps with the locks on them.
Yeah.
They'll fit any strap button.
Yeah.
They make these in different colors too, so this will end up getting replaced. I'll put the strap buttons back on, and it'll get replaced with a yellow D'Addario strap.
That strap kind of ties the whole thing together, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, they make these. You can get these D'Addario straps in nylon, which this one's nylon, or polypro, and the nylon's a little padded. It's thick. It's thick. It's a little padded, and they do these in the yellow as well. So,
speaking of padding, how heavy is that guitar? I can't imagine it weighs all that much.
No, this guitar is light. I actually do know how much this guitar weighs. This guitar weighs 7 pounds and 6 ounces.
There you go. Yeah.
So this guitar's this guitar is extremely light compared to pretty much everything else I've got.
What's up, Wayne?
What's up, Wayne?
So what's left to do to make that a perfect guitar for you? Well, of what it is.
I mean, it's pretty good where it's at. I'm not going to change any of the electron. If I do change anything electronics, I will swap this push-pull to a push-push.
Right.
Or I have thought about just putting a standard pot in it and putting a 3-way toggle, Charvel style, a 3-way toggle up in this area somewhere.
Yeah.
And that way you can get a split between the bridge and the neck pickups.
I heard he was going to get an RP360 to round out the tone.
That's right.
I don't know where you heard that from. But,
some vicious rumor, some old man from Kentucky spreading socials.
He's the one with the vicious rumors against him. So
40 Grit is saying the problem with the D-Tuna is the plating. The titanium screws work better than the stock ones.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I sanded all that crap off. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Same thing.
But I'm going to get with 40 Grit and say, hey, bro, how do you do some additional relicking and it not look like shit? Because he's done plenty of additional relicking on his. He's done the bottom of the guitar here all the way around, and some up in here, and the back of the guitar. He made the buckle rash area kind of look way more realistic.
Something to do with
a drag it over shit and stuff.
Yeah, something to do with a slide. A guitar slide.
Oh.
I know the X-Acto knife seems to be a big people are a big fan of it, and like the Frankenstein relic groups and 5150 replica groups are doing that stuff. So, I mean, it's got to be better than just sitting there with some 200 grit sanding away.
Mm-hmm. Is the relic part of the guitar, is it lacquered over?
No.
So you could possibly
you could take
it on your own.
Yeah, you could take an X-Acto. I mean, it's pretty thin lacquer, but no, the wood's exposed. I'm sure no, it's not sealed either. I can jam a fingernail in it, no problem. But
what about the neck? Is that sealed or oiled or what? Wax finished?
They say they're unfinished, but they're definitely. I would say they're definitely oiled.
Yeah.
They're not truly unfinished because let's face it, if they're selling truly unfinished necks, they're going to have an ass load of warranty claims about warped necks.
Yeah.
40 Grit says his is 7.6 as well.
Right on.
You don't happen to have a scale over there, do you, Ryan?
Length?
I do.
7.6, is that the length or the weight?
5x7.
Well, you could stick a piece of sandpaper to your forearm.
Right?
Yeah.
And relic it
40
more.
Grit.
Glass
is the neck, the back?
Yeah. The glass slides, yeah. Okay, I've went stupid there for a minute. When Ryan said slides, I'm sitting there thinking like the medicine bottle fucking slide for play. Not like an actual, like a microscope glass slide. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I have to go get my Dexter serial killer kit and get my slides out. Yeah, I'm going to pop this nut off and lower that just a smidge.
Is it
And,
screwed all the way through?
Yeah, they're rear mount on the EVH stuff.
Right. So when you lower the nut, what do? You pull it off and you sand the fucker or what?
Yeah, 40 Grit's actually got a really good video on how to do that.
Okay.
How to sand a nutshell if you don't want to go back and forth. You just want to go straight through
Right.
type deal. Because if you go back and forth, you'll do it unevenly.
Uh-huh.
So when I do it, I'm going to be referencing his video on how to properly sand a nutshell. Because you really, and in all honesty, you don't have to take much off.
No.
I mean, think how much a business card thickness does for a neck shim.
Yeah.
Yep, thousandths of an inch taken off.
Yeah. You're not talking much at all, like, to get it ready to rock and roll. I mean, it plays fine now. It's just not quite as low as I would like it.
Right.
So I have a specific, it's a 7/16 wide flat diamond file that I use for doing that. Just pass straight.
What's the
through,
sound it makes?
Depending on.
I like that sound.
There you go.
Every
And
time.
this thing.
And in all honesty, the reason I haven't done it yet is because it's like, if I don't want to play it or it feels kind of that day. I mean, I've got
Few behind you.
there's a few back there I can just play instead.
You don't
So-
have any repeats back there, do you?
No. And repeats as in it's the same guitar, same finish.
No, same guitar. The color
Oh.
doesn't make it any different than the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. I've got two 2011 made in Japan Charvel SoCals. One's
Yeah,
black,
yeah.
one's white. But they're the
Must
same.
like those.
Pretty much the same feel.
Yin yang.
Oh yeah, those are by far my favorite necks on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is back when Charvel was still using quarter sawn maple for their necks instead of the flat sawn with the dual reinforcement rods and all that stuff.
So I wonder, is that it? That's kind of feels unfinished on the back, yeah.
Yeah,
Is it porous at all?
mine is.
Yeah.
Especially down in this area, you can really feel it with your thumb back here. Up here, not so much. I think, I play a lot of rhythm stuff on this guitar, so
Yeah.
it's kind of getting glossy up here. But down here, it's really porous.
Like my drop C, the blue one that I have, that neck is it's totally porous. So you can almost stick your thumbnail into the back of the neck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how this neck gets down here. That's how they're not a wax sealed. They're just oiled.
Right. They gotta
Feels
get the
good.
old Monty's out.
Man, my rig is unusually loud tonight for some reason. I don't know what's up.
Sounds like dirty power. You should have heard Jimmy on Sunday.
Could be.
Jimmy's over there got 200 volts going in his stuff. So
Calibrate your flux capacitor back there.
A little crispy.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I've fired up the rig, so I don't know.
just need to let the tubes heat up.
Yeah, I'm at 121 volts when normally it's like 119.
It's funny how tube amps seem to be sensitive to that. I noticed
Yep.
with mine, I set the Variac at 117 or so, and depending on what's running in the house, it'll stay there or it'll go up to like 121, 122, and it's like
Right.
it starts to sound even brighter than usual. It's like fuck.
Can't Drive 55 says the EVH Art Series have issues with the nut shelf.
Some of them, the big thing with those and the mid 2000s Charvels where the Floyd posts were drilled too close to the pickup, so they're a pain in the ass to intonate.
Gotcha.
There was a lot of the Stripe series Charvels that were that way.
Bet you
Or
40 grit could fix them up though.
He's got one.
Yeah.
He just did a video on a USA SoCal from like 08 or 07 that's got the posts were drilled too close.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Man, this is driving me insane.
Your love is driving me crazy.
Oh, it was his Warren D. Martini, the Charvel Bomber guitar. That's the one that the Floyd's too far forward.
Gotcha. That's no good. Well, on the 5150 guitar, the original 5150, it was too far forward, wasn't it? Or was that the Frankie?
Was the Frank.
Gotcha.
That was the Frank. Ed did it. And he assumed that those two posts lined up with the 6 screws for the Strat trim, and they need to be in front of them.
They need to be in front. Gotcha.
And Tom Anderson's the one that actually fixed that, plugged and re-drilled.
Didn't the one on the 5150 though, one of them start pushing forward?
Yeah, you can see. There's some, I think it's those pictures of it that was in Guitar World around in the early 90s. Maybe you can see one of the cracks on the treble side post.
Yeah.
Going towards the pickup cavity. So I guess that was more common with the wood screw posts than these inserts.
Right. So what prompted you to pick those pickups or that single coil pickup that you picked there?
I like higher output neck pickups, and I don't like all the glassy high end you get on like a vintage Strat style pickup. I like them a little woofier, almost P90-ish.
Woofy.
The appropriate use of woof.
Right.
Right.
So I was originally going to do, when I had it in the second incarnation, I was going to swap the neck pickup out with a red DiMarzio SDS1, which is what Jake E. Lee uses in the neck in the middle. They've got a big ass Alnico bar magnet on the bottom of them, and they get pretty P90-ish sounding, but they're extremely noisy. So your next best bet at that point is a stacked or a rail, which in my experience with being a pickup nerd, I haven't found a stacked single coil that was hot enough or had that P90-ish kind of low end muscle to it.
Have you ever used one of the Duncan, what is it, a quarter pounder?
There used to be a quarter pound in the Henrik Donhagade in the neck of it.
And what did you think of that?
I think the pickup sounds great, but they're super noisy.
Really?
Yeah. They're
Well, it's
hot.
not like we haven't had super noise before, so.
Yeah.
Right. But they're super noisy. They've got those giant Alnico 5 pole pieces in them. And I mean, it's a really muscular, just chunky sounding pickup.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that that's what U2 The Edge used for his bridge single coil.
That's possible.
Some of his guitars.
It's possible.
Could be mistaken.
The other thing about the quarter pound is the only color you can get them in is black, because you can't put a normal plastic single coil cover over them because of how big the pole pieces are.
It's too big.
Just spray paint it.
Good evening, fine sir.
What's up, CLS? Good to see you, man.
And J. Paul.
Fucking Kurt got in there quick, and I
Hey.
clicked on the wrong guy.
There's J. Paul. Invaders are my fave. So dark and high output and quiet AF.
We mentioned Invaders, J. Paul. I saw they announced a few weeks back that Duncan's doing a single coil Invader in their custom shop now.
Martian Murray, what is up? I wonder if you could split a stacked single coil. Probably not worth the effort, I'm guessing.
You can. I think Seymour Duncan has a diagram on how to split a stacked single coil.
I can show you how to split it. It may not work afterwards, but I can split it.
I think you're able to split them from series and parallel. It's the way it's the only way you're able to split them.
Gotcha. Man, it's fucking driving me nuts.
J. Paul says, "Ooh, I got a spot for a single coil on a Strat." Well, there you go.
Well, speaking of, modifying and doing, different stuff, this is the one that I've had some ideas about putting on like a whole, maybe another EMG pick guard, going with like a Lukather set or something like that. But I don't know. Obviously, I haven't decided what I want to do with it. But, yeah, these are a good platform for any kind of modifications you may want to do.
Right. That's the whole reason I bought this one. I was like, ooh, there's a modding platform.
And every time I think of doing something different with it, I'm like, well, it sounds so good already, Why mess with it?
Yeah. There it is. Have you missed that tone? Have you missed that tone?
I haven't missed all this noise, I'll tell you that. Jeez. Man, that's really noisy. What the heck? All right, I'm going to shut this down.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
I may need to do that.
Some of that there on the weekend. I went through and pulled all the 1/4-inch jacks out of all the cords on the pedal bar, everything in and out, get everything on fresh contact.
Yeah, I may need to do that. All I did was come back and turn everything on. You know what I did? I don't think that would make any difference over here. I unplugged my my pedals and my computer from the wall while I was gone, and then when I came home, I don't know if I put them in the right, but it's the same power, so I don't know. This is more something going on back there. I don't know what the heck that is. I'll be back.
Maybe your flux capacitor is gonna melt down.
Right. She's running hot. Hang on. Hey, Todd.
What's up, Todd? So yeah, that pretty much concludes my EVH Frankie Relic stripe series. Although I have considered getting a white one.
Got to keep the balance, the yin yang.
Yeah, they've got the 3 new colors. They've got like the Jake Ely Blue Burst. Now, the Silver Burst, which is fucking hideous. And then they've got like a tobacco, a vintage tobacco sunburst or 3 colors sunburst. Which, that piqued my interest because I love a sunburst Strat, but I have one that's currently being built. So, kind of pointless for me to buy the one when Willie's almost done with mine. So, there's that. But I do like me some white guitars, obviously. It's black and white. So.
Right on, man. So, overall, pretty happy with the purchase. You'd buy it again?
Oh, yeah. I'd buy another one. I probably wouldn't buy another one brand new. I'd probably find me a used one.
Yeah, not so much, John. Not so much. I found the problem. Yeah, we're good. We're good now. So now I can go and reset all this stuff back where it was. Don't need that so hot. There we go. I think we're good and back to normal.
Back in the saddle.
So what it was my wireless pedal right here was pushed up right against my my one spot. So it's picking up all that interference
That
and
will
sending
do
it straight to the amp. Yeah. So now we're good.
That'll definitely do it.
Much better. What is up, Todd? 0864. I don't have an EVH guitar, but I do have an EVH 5153 lunchbox. Was jamming earlier tonight. Right on, man. Right on.
Nice.
Keep playing, brother.
Nice.
I like the EVH stuff. You know, when before Ed passed and right after his passing, I was all about buying all the EVH stuff. You know, and then when he passed, I was like, yeah, let me get some more, or you know, it's kind of a tribute. Get as much of the Wolfgangs and the EVH stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've kind of gotten to now where I'm like, you know, there's other guitars out there. So I'm full of the EVH stuff, and obviously started buying some Les Pauls and that kind of thing and broadening my horizons, but still a big EVH fan. I have yet to find a 3-channel amp that I like better. Of course, I haven't played that Alta yet from Headrush. But head first, not Head Rush. Sorry, Jason. Sorry, Jason. Yeah, that amp sounded fantastic. If he sends me one, I'd like to try it out.
Coming soon.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
I need one of those Evil Joes. Holy hell!
Thing sounded good, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Right on. So what else has been going on, boys? Are we finished talking about Randy's guitar, or we have more specs to go over?
I think we've pretty much covered it.
Yeah. Any other questions from the
Well,
audience?
we got a comment here. Anyone watch the 24 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I did not watch the whole thing. I fast forwarded to the Ozzy induction.
part, yeah.
Yep.
And oh my God, sounded absolutely horrendous.
Was it bad?
Of course, I think the whole show, the sound was way off.
Yep.
I was like, what is wrong with my receiver? Because you couldn't hear the singer. And then if you could hear the singer, you couldn't hear the instruments like the guitar. Like when Wolfgang does his solo to Crazy Train, it's like, I can't hear him, you know? I don't know.
The only clip I saw was
So I went and I watched it on my iPad, and I was like, it's horrible. I can't hear it. And then on top of that, I'm going to say it right here. The Maynard one was okay. You know, even he said that he was going to have trouble singing Ozzy. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, I would have rather listened to, you know, freaking cats with their tails stuck under a rocking chair than those vocals. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Didn't miss anything then.
Not at all.
Then
So that's what I watched of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And then his producer dude, Andrew Watt, which was the guy that was playing the Flying V,
Okay.
his guitar kept going out of tune.
I
Yeah,
saw an Instagram clip where Zach was doing his solo right off stage from the audience.
Yeah, he kind of walked down in front. Yeah. He sounded pretty good. He was sounding all right. But
Sounds
everything
like
else.
Zach.
That's good.
Yeah, everything else. Let's see. Darboard. Good to see you. That's a new name I haven't seen before. Welcome in. Says, Randy, have you ever put non EVH pickups in a Wolfgang? And if so, which did you choose?
I have owned 2 Wolfgangs, and they retained their stock pickups. And the owners that have them now still have these stock pickups in them.
There you go.
I have.
Channel member Charles Green is here saying, hey, everybody. Good to see you, Mr. Verde. Right on. Right on. There's Blue Mox saying hey to Charles Green. Hot Rod in the house. Right on. Good to see you, Charles. J. Paul says Maynard was the only highlight in his opinion. Pete Estevez says that Jelly Roll dude botched Mama, I'm Coming Home. Yeah. Yeah. Is that who that was? Jelly Roll? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
I was say real quick to Darboard, if you do switch pickups in a Wolfgang, be prepared to either modify the base plate of the pickup or modify the guitar.
Yep. Unless you use DiMarzio's.
yeah, DiMarzio's will be a smaller ear, and those will drop right in.
Yeah, if you do like bare knuckle or Duncan or whatever, you're gonna have to file the base plates.
Yeah, the Wolfgang, that brown, that Zerakote Wolfgang standard that I have, is I have Seymour Duncan's in it, and it required a lot of grinding on the bass plates and the guitar itself because you can only go so far on the bass plates, and I got kind of freaked out that I was going to start grinding into some wire on the pickup because the Duncans are a little bit fatter.
You can see the rounded ear.
Right.
That's a Wolfgang pickup that's in these, and you can see it's rounded there. So
Gorman.
the Wolfgang body is cut exactly for that rounded shape there. So anything different, you'll have to shave it down.
Hitman's here.
The Hitman, Dwight. The Hitman Bailey. Good to see you, man.
And Dan Gorman.
And Dan Gorman. Hey,
Dan Gorman.
Way late. Right on, man. Dan is here, everybody. Let's start the show over.
That's right.
Well,
So, Randy.
Dan gets his own riff now, remember?
Oh, go right ahead. What the heck is this layout here? Somebody been in here messing around with stuff?
Oh, hey.
There we go. It's just me not knowing which one to hit. What's up, Jimmy? You've been awful quiet tonight, man.
Well,
How you been? What's been going on?
I just like to shut up and soak up the information.
There you go. Well, good to see you, man.
Jimmy's been busy modifying his Synergy modules.
Modifying.
Oh, we got all Dave.
Just new tubes.
All Dave All Night. Member for 15 months using his super chat to say condolences, Ryan. It's good to see you, buddy. Hello to everybody in the chat. Right on, Dave, man. Appreciate it.
See you,
Appreciate
brother.
it.
He's back in the saddle.
Back in the saddle for tonight, anyhow. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try to
the
make...
Tone Master Pro, that's gone.
See ya.
You see that we're not doing a Guitarsenal on it tonight, right? When I was asking you boys, I figured that Randy would go, well, I've got this Tone Master here. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your experience with it, though, Randy. So let me tell you my experience first, if you don't mind.
And then I'll tell you
go ahead.
because it's real quick.
Okay. So, obviously I had been on that search for the B-Rig. And I was like, this Tone Master Pro, I mean, everybody's saying that it's great. And so I'm going to take a Rodecaster down to the music store with me, and I'm going to plug it in and listen to it through the headphones, just like I would for the show. And that'll tell me exactly what it sounds like. So they pulled it out, set it up, and it's got a headphone jack on it. So let me just see what it sounds like with the headphones first. Sounded like garbage. I'm like, it sounded like you're playing an amp, and I've said this before, you could hear it on the inside of a warehouse that you're standing outside of. And it's like it's not right there in your ears, like you're standing right in front of it.
That's exactly it.
And that
So I
was
was
my
like-
experience. Same thing.
Okay, yeah. So
Click,
I
click,
was,
click, click. Nope.
Yep.
Bye.
So I was like, well, let me see what it sounds like through the Rodecaster, and it sounded exactly the same as it did through the headphones. So I was like, nope. So same experience with John, Randy. You finding the same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Seeing Henrik Donhage using one live is what really kind of sold me on it, because I know what an analog guy he is when it comes to amps and stuff. He's tube amp all the way. But they're doing a bunch of fly gigs and festivals and all that stuff because they just put a new album out a couple months ago. So he got talked into a compact deal. And it sounded, the clips I heard of him using it live on a rig rundown sounded really good. Then I guess Ola used it live for a couple festivals and said it was great. And Rob Arnold from Chimera used it on a couple festivals and has done several videos on it. So I was like, well, hell, I'll give it a shot. It's got a 45-day return policy. If it sucks, I'll send it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's my motto. If it sucks, I'll send it back. So it sucks, and I'm sending it back. But
his motto is FTG. F
Yep,
that gear.
fuck that guy.
Yep.
F that gear.
Fuck that
Yep.
gear. But so I got it and immediately put the latest firmware update in it.
What
And,
about what J. Paul's saying? IR setting.
that's possible, man, but I went through every one of them.
Yep, same.
And
I even went in where you can move the little speaker
Yep.
microphone around and get it on the cone or off the cone or
yep,
the
on
distance
axis,
and
off
all.
axis.
Nah.
Well-
Are we just too picky?
Maybe.
Is it just us?
I mean, I think
spoiled.
I think this Yamaha sounds better than that thing.
I think so too. Yeah,
But
it does.
so after the firmware update, I sat here for somewhere between 5 and 6 hours, just trying the stock presets, trying to dial in stuff, and it was the same result every time. It sounded like the cabinet was down the hall with a blanket over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you would dial the presence up or move your speaker simulation to different parts or different distances of the speaker, it
Just
was like
sounded like it was moving around the room.
right. If you could get it where it was here, it was super fizzy, super hot, and distorted, and not in a good way.
Yep.
Yep.
Here's the thing that I've found about any kind of modeler stuff. You put a clean setting on, it sounds fantastic. It's like, oh man, that just sounds great. You put any kind of hair on it, and it's like, that's just awful. That's just my experience.
So the other day, I think it was Sunday, I saw Rob Arnold had put a new video up, and he was packing his Tone Master Pro up in his Pelican case and all that. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing with this thing? Because I bought one and I'm about to send it back because everything I try, it sounds like shit. So he sent me a link to download his presets that he's using live.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, when you say using live, you're talking about going out to the PA.
so what he's using, how he's using his is he's got a Seymour Duncan, the power amp, that 500 watt solid state Seymour Duncan power amp.
Power
And
stage.
He's using it to power a cab on stage.
So there you go.
And then he's using the two balanced outs to go to front of house.
That's half your battle right there, a real speaker.
Yep. Getting that liveliness out of it.
And according to him, the on-stage cab is not mic'd, it's just for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Just for a little stage monitoring.
So what you're hearing through the PA is the direct out. So I downloaded his presets in there. I was like, they're super high gain and all that, but it's just kind of like, not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete says that he runs 2 cabs in stereo with his head rush, puts 2 mics, one on axis and one off. See, that's the thing. You get a real speaker going and it's going to sound better. We've been trying to find something that sounds good just going direct into a mixer or a roadcaster, and it's been a struggle. It really has.
There's a couple
far
of
that-
components, right? But I even said that to Jason when he was on, because I've heard that Alta in 1,000 different variations, and it sounds great with an IR, but when you put it through like he was doing with Simon, just a 57 on a greenback cab, it's like completely different.
Yep.
And then
You
our
can't beat
second
it.
challenge is getting that sound into the roadcaster and out to you guys, right?
Yep.
It's not as easy as just throwing a mic on the cab. And
Yeah. Mr. Mick says the new Friedman IRJ sounds awesome, even with the IRs.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't heard many clips, but the clips that I have heard, obviously Pete Thorne always makes everything sound fantastic. Yeah. But I heard 40 Grit the other night, and I believe he said he had an IRJ, and he plugged it straight into his new Roadcaster, which congrats, by the way. And it sounded great.
Yep.
Sounded good.
Not as bright as I was expecting.
Right. So, I mean, that may be another option for somebody that's looking for something to go straight into a mixer, your Boss Gigcaster or your Roadcaster or your Zoom mixer or whatever that you use. coming into the computer. But it's been a struggle to find stuff that sounds really good coming straight direct in, when you're comparing it to, like John or myself with our real rigs.
And that's something to keep in mind, right? I mean, Ryan and myself are pathological.
Yeah, we're crazy
with what
we're
we
crazy.
want, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, this amp is going because it's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't say it didn't deliver what's on the tin, but I found something better.
Yep. So 40 Grit here is saying, I got the new IRJ. It's awesome. Have you figured out your effects routing with it? You said you were having some trouble with the loop. I would be interested in seeing what it sounds like with just a delay in the loop. And then before you go into the Rodecaster, come out into a stereo, like I would do a detune and then a stereo EVH pedal, and then into the Rodecaster. I'd be curious what that sounds like. I may have to buy one just to see.
I saw Pete's video
For science.
on it, and I think our buddy Andy
What's up, Cowboy?
did one on it too. I think it was him that did it. They sound good, but I was like totally afraid it was going to be super bright and high end. And
Scott says it sounded great when Ben Eller did his demo. I saw a little bit of that, and he says he was going just directly into his interface. A little bit of post delay, but the overall tone sounded really good. So I don't know if they've done something different with this one as opposed to the IRX, because John, you tried the IRX, right?
Yep.
And you just didn't like it. It just didn't have the feel or the sound that you were looking for, right?
that was a big thing, was the feel.
Right.
And the complex, it's not really all that complex, but trying to get that into stereo and all, it wasn't worth the pain, right?
Right. Todd 0864. I just play at home, but have a couple of 1990 ADA 212 cabs. Usually just use one of them. Love real amps with the pedals. That's where it's at, man.
Absolutely.
But, the new generations will tell you that the modelers, man, that's where it is.
Cool thing is there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Well, there is, and Ryan and I both know it, but
That's why.
Yeah, we know the ultimate answer, yeah. No gear like that is going to feel like an amp. That's correct. It will not.
Yeah, that's
Now-
kind of why I just decided. You know what? I got tube amps sitting here. Let's figure out something with a tube amp in this thing.
There you go. Mr. Mick says, I just use a passive splitter to get the effects loop to work with the amp cabinet and into the computer for the IRs. There you go.
yeah.
Let's see. 40 Grit says, thanks, Ryan. Balanced out into the road. Sounds awesome. With pedals, not so much yet. See, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm wondering if there may be some tweaking to try with that for sure. See, if I were to get the IRJ pedal, I would come with the balanced out. I actually would put my DD500 in the loop, and then the balanced out, I would go into the micro pitch pedal, and then come out stereo into an EVH pedal, and then stereo into the Rodecaster, and that's how I would try it. But that's just me. That's just me.
Aren't you all sold on the Synergy stuff though, Ryan?
The Synergy so far has been the best sounding that I have gotten and the best feel. So I'm kind of at a stop over there. But science.
Science is science, man.
You gotta explore, right? Let's see. Cushman NYC. What's up, Kush? He says whatever works. Exactly. Hey, 40 says I'm using the delay on the road. There you go.
That's inventive.
That'll work. That'll work. I mean, that's what it's there for, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm using the reverb.
There's reverb
On the
there as
road.
well. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I tried that once and I was like, yeah, okay, it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest thing, but it.
Yeah. I wanted to be able to turn it on and off quickly. And so I never was a reverb person anyway. J. Paul's confident his katana would hang. I play along with y'all a lot to dial it in. Have a good SLO patch. Right on.
Cool, man.
Right on.
That'd be cool, man.
We'll make a recording of you playing to, one of the tracks or something, and send it in. We'll play it. Speaking of which, I had another submission from Alaskan Rockstar, and obviously I wasn't here to get it loaded up, so this Sunday we'll have another submission from Alaska Rockstar. We'll get that on for him. 40 Grit, John is right. I can just stop there, right? John is right.
No.
No right answer. It's all preference.
It is. And I mean, going back to the J. Paul there with the katana, I haven't heard a bad thing come out of a katana.
Nope.
There was somebody that was complaining about a particular version or something or other, but by and large, everything I've heard sounds fantastic.
Yeah. There's some stuff that sounds great. That little
Your Fender thing you got there,
that little Fender amp, that sounds great in the room. And I tried putting it through the Rodecaster. I'm like, yeah, not so much, but in the room for a little practice amp, I think sounds great. I did try to mic it, and for whatever reason, it just sounds horrible with a mic. So I don't know. It is what it is. I like it for. Actually, I took that with me when I went on the road, so I had a little something, just to kind of keep the fingers loose, and it was perfect.
How big is it, Ryan?
Oh, about 5 by 7.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, 13, 14 inches wide, 16 inches tall, something like that, if that.
That's tiny little guy.
Yeah, and it's lightweight. It's real lightweight. Probably no more than 10 pounds. And sounds great. Sounds great. Let's see. Darboard says, your untitled song from a year ago is badass. Listened to it many times. Which one would that be? Oh, I think the only one that I had as untitled was the, would have been this one here, I think. Is that the one we're talking about? Let's see.
There, my friend.
Yes, that's the one. Right on. Scott Brockway says, blowing my eardrums out. If it's too loud, you're too old. Turn your volume down. Yeah, I need to do something with that. It's all about time. It's all about time. Let's see. Scott says, I do think people are too picky in general, chasing someone else's tone instead of finding your own. Not something I get, but if they enjoy that, more power to them. Well, see, sometimes it's just a challenge for people. I want to get, like people have been chasing that Van Halen 1 Brown sound forever. And the closer they get to it, it's just a challenge to do it. So, and then they hit it and they're like, okay, let me move on to the next one.
I think what Scott said at the end, it's if they enjoy that, more power to them. And that's the takeaway, man.
Exactly. For sure.
One thing to that, though, is what Jason was saying again about, trying to chase a studio recording is a fool's errand. You can't. It's impossible. Everything's triple tracked with post
Yeah.
mastering.
I mean, even the artist that recorded it in the studio, they may be playing a Strat or something to get, a certain chiminess on one of the guitar tracks.
Exactly.
And then when they play it live, they're playing their humbucker Gibson Les Paul, so you get a good approximation to it and just rock it out,
Exactly.
If it has to be exact, then you'll see, 15 different artists on the stage, trying to recreate those tones. Like David Gilmour does.
Yep. It's a
Speaking
press
of
play.
which, he has been he's been touring,
Yes.
and I keep seeing stuff pop up on YouTube where he's doing Sorrow, and he's doing Comfortably Numb, and he's doing some of the Pink Floyd classics along with his new stuff.
Yeah.
What's your take on some of the new stuff? Have you listened to any of it? Yeah. I know exactly what you're thinking right now.
Yeah. I guess I would say it this. I think his wife, Polly, has had a huge influence on.
Well, she writes the lyrics.
Yeah, that's fine because she did that on Division Bell and all that too, which is cool. But I think, him getting older and he's totally in love and enthralled with her still, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think she's had a big impact on him and how he writes things. And it doesn't have that bit of like sorrow, it doesn't have that angst in it anymore. It's all very...
He's too happy is what you're saying?
ain't got no pizzazz.
Well,
Yeah,
he's always been an atmospheric writer, because he always had, Wright on the keyboard, all the Floyd stuff. You always hear that ominous, background keyboard, kind of thing coming through.
Yeah.
And, there's only so much you can do with that.
Yep.
And they did so much with it that was so awesome.
Yep.
My thought was kind of like, he's running out of ideas,
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds great, but it's like, it's,
But you've seen him in the last, On an Island, his solo album from way back, it was great.
right.
And, he's done other touring, but yes, pre-COVID, he was starting to go very rootsy in his, like back to his roots, a lot of folk stuff, a lot of old stuff, and he's fucking an old man. He's having fun.
Exactly. Got yokoed. That sums it up. But I'd still go listen to the dude, bend some strings for sure.
Yeah, he's showing his age a bit on some of those clips, which is par for the course.
Yeah. McCollum Music Matt says, yo, fell asleep when I finally got home around 8:30ish. Got up to pee and y'all are on the TV. Right on, man. Well, I hope it was a good pee. All right. Well, boys, I'm about ready to head out of here. You guys going to carry on for a bit or?
I think we're just about wrapped up.
Ready to wrap things up?
Good.
Right on. Well, it was good to be back tonight.
It's good to have you back, brother.
Good to see you boys. Good to see everybody in the chat. And I'll plan to be here for Trans Trim Thursday. Get back to some trans trimming.
Sweet.
So we won't even
And,
show up for the first hour because you've got 2 weeks
I just
worth
got
of...
I got so much pent up that I need to get out. So yeah. But Sunday I'm not sure about.
Yep.
And then next week I'm not too sure. So some scheduling is still up in the air, but these boys will be here to carry the load. And again, thank you boys for taking care of things here at the home front. Appreciate
Jimmy
it.
likes carrying big loads.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
Exactly.
50% more.
Waiting for Randy to hit that one.
No. No.
No.
Oh my God, it's so juicy.
There we go. There we go. Scott Brockway is saying, Randy, can you send me a link to where I can get those ceramic magnets?
You can get them from Stu Mac, I'm pretty sure.
There you go. Right on, Blue. Good to see everybody in the chat tonight. Todd 0864. Need to hear that Check My Brain cover. Right on. Right on.
Did
Not
you notice
tonight.
we went into that on one of these past
did.
streams?
I did. You guys rocked it out.
Well, we
Let's
didn't
see.
get blacklighted either.
No, I think Randy was saying that they reached an agreement, so he was good and clear to go. So, well, cool, man. Randy, you gonna play us out with that Relic Frankie customized?
Yeah, let me pull a track out.
Right on. So yeah, we'll plan to see everybody for Trans Trim Thursday, and we'll see what happens after that. But like I said, all these boys will be here to hold the fort down. So we will see everybody on Thursday. We're gonna let Randy play us on out of here, and yeah, we'll see everybody next time around. So you all queued up, ready to go there, Randy? All right, here we go. Randy Price.
Eddie Van Halen here, telling you, keep playing, man. Gotta keep playing. It's the only thing there is. Music, man. Keep playing. All right? I'm gonna come looking for you if you don't.